trapping.
Hey, what's up, people? Welcome back to Sarah's Boys Podcast. I'm Jacob, and yeah, it's just me this week. Because I just thought I'd give Braylen and Kyler just kind of cut them some slack and give them a week off, and I tried contacting Hunter and Kirby, which I haven't talked to them. Just they haven't been quite available to film stuff lately because they got live stuff going on. Hunter works, and then Kirby's still going through school. Maybe I don't know. And he's just got a lot of live stuff going on, so I'm cutting them some slack too. And I was like, you know what? I don't have a problem doing an episode by myself. I mean, this is my first time doing an episode by myself for the first time in 7 weeks, I think, because the last one I did was episode 34. I think that was on DC Comics, which was, I feel like that I ran through that episode pretty well. I mean, granted, I don't think the podcast is as fun by myself because I just don't see myself as that entertaining. But it is what it is, I guess. But yeah, so what's cool is that I know you guys can't see, but you guys like that there's more light. I kind of got two monitors now, so I got this one that I'll use for like gaming, and then this one that I can use for like other stuff. Which I'm gonna be using this one. I got two monitors here. It's really cool. I wish I could show you guys, or not. I might show you guys in the future video if I did do like a fucking vlog or something, but who knows. But yeah, so I feel like last week's episode, the one with books with Braylen and Kyle, I feel like that one did really well. Views went up on it pretty good. The Halloween episode, it was long, but there was still, some good stuff on that. The Legends of Zelda episode did pretty good. That was a little bit ago by now. But yeah, it's just a matter of still trucking along and all that fun stuff. So things going on right now. Just trying to get through school. I'm still doing driving school, believe it or not. Get my driving hours in, and that's basically all what's it for me as far as stuff that I need to do goes. Yeah, not only that, it's just stuff that I need to do in order to get by, and it is kind of that shit time of year. November, December, just that time of year, just things just start to feel like shit. But I'm trying to get through shit, cause I wanted to do the podcast a few days ago with the guys, because Hunter and Kirby specifically, because it's Monday when I'm filming this, and that was Saturday. And Saturday was kind of a shit day for me, so I just kind of wanted the day to just chill and relax, and now it's Monday, it's kind of time to get back on the grind, I guess, and that's what I've been trying to do today. But yeah, so I want to check the analytics for the podcast real quick. Not bad. It got 59 views in the last 28 days, and I've gained 1 subscriber. 8.8 hours of watch time. What if I look at, hold on, I'm gonna look at monetization. 11 subscribers, and we got 58 public watch hours. I don't know if I have that much on my channel. I don't know. Hold on, I want to check my channel real quick. So, as far as public watch hours on the podcast, 58 public watch hours, and there's about 40 episodes out right now. I mean, granted, this is episode 41, but maybe because I haven't checked monetization on my main channel in a while, so let me do that. 192 subscribers. Let's go, fucking love you guys. And we're at 514 public watch hours. So that's halfway to 1,000, and we need 4,000. Holy shit. Fuck. It's gonna take a long time to do that. Anyways, back to the podcast thing. I just wanted to check that just because, I was curious. But yeah, so soon I'm gonna address the topic for this week. I mean, I feel like the topic for this week is interesting. All I'm going to do for this week is just freaking instead of talking about it, just doing trying research on that kind of shit, because you guys don't know this, but I still have Kirby write down topics. That's like his job. That's been his job ever since he started the podcast. And just the things that he comes up with is just very interesting. Like his brain hole is a freaking, I don't even know what it is. Just full of imaginations, I guess, to put it that way. Okay, so hold on, give me 1 second, guys. Talking to people, well, not necessarily, but you know. But yeah, so I'm about to address the topic for this week. So without further ado, let's get right into it. So the topic for this week is Godzilla. Yeah. If you guys didn't see last week, Braylen and Kyler wanted a hint of what next week's episode was going to be, and I just said big. That's what I meant by big. It was just Godzilla. Because I didn't want to make it too obvious. I was like, well, I'm just going to say big. But anyway, but yeah, it's on Godzilla. I know that there's been like a few like Godzilla movies. Like I know that's something that I'm aware of, but let me just go through here. Oh, I totally spelled that wrong. What the fuck? Okay. Let's see. I'm trying to think. Fuck. What if I just put Godzilla? There's a film series on it, Godzilla vs. Kong. That actually came out last year. I forgot about that. But there's like a movie series on Godzilla. But let's go ahead and answer it, or you know, go through a few of these questions on Google of people also ask. So, is Godzilla a girl or boy? Alright, in the original Japanese film, Godzilla and all the other monsters are referred to with gender-neutral pronouns equivalent to it, while in the English dubbed versions, Godzilla is explicitly described as a male. For some reason, I thought at one point Godzilla was described as a female. Am I in the right or the wrong by that? Because I don't know. I'm just going based off what I've heard or what I've thought. I don't freaking know. So based off it, kind of like it, because they call him it, because Pennywise isn't like, even though he's played by a male, Bill Skarsgård, and I forgot his name back in 1990, Tim Curry, and not a female, so because Pennywise is just not referred to male or female as far as a character, but it's played by males. Is Godzilla a evil? But Godzilla hasn't always been the antagonist. Wingard notes that occasionally in his decades in film, he's been the good guy, including in the Warner Bros. And legendary MonsterVerse, which includes Godzilla in 2014, Kong, Skull Island in 2017, and Godzilla King of the Monsters in 2019. Interesting. Third one, is Godzilla real in real life? No. There you go. Godzilla is not real. He's a fictional monster created during the golden age of horror, supernatural, and science fiction films. That said, Godzilla's design inspiration was real at one point. The original visualization of Godzilla was an irradiated octopus. Interesting. Number 4. What is Godzilla's weakness? Godzilla's biggest weakness is his own atomic breath. What? I wasn't expecting that kind of answer. Godzilla's biggest weakness is his own atomic breath. This was demonstrated when Mothra used her scale to reflect Godzilla's atomic breath back at him, forcing him to retreat. Interesting. One last one here. Who is the youngest Godzilla? Elias, species, Elias Minion, species, dinosaur-like creature, family, Godzilla, Atomic Theory, Godzilla Jr. It doesn't really give us much of an answer, but we'll do one last one because that answer is kind of shit. How was Godzilla born? The 1998 remake established that it's Kaiju, while female is capable of impregnating itself and laying eggs without another mate, which becomes a plot point. Godzilla reproduces asexually. Oh, okay, I forgot to read that part. who reproduces asexually. Okay. That's interesting. I mean, I feel like what we should talk about, I mean, because like the movies anyway, right? So, let me go to YouTube. It's kind of a cycle of how I do things. I do the podcast by myself because I am freaking creative and unoriginal. Because I don't want to live in the real world. I just want to do YouTube and shit, and instead of living in the real world. So I don't know. Okay, so again on YouTube, I'm just gonna search Godzilla. I forgot Eminem has a freaking song called Godzilla, feature with Juice WRLD. That's cool. Godzilla in World War II. What we want from new movie 8 hours ago. But fuck, it's 19 minutes. Godzilla 2014, all Godzilla scenes. Nuclear Godzilla vs. King Gahundar, Godzilla King of Monsters, 93 million views. Good God. Godzilla vs. Gigan Rex, 2.7 million. 10 giant creatures caught in camera. That's, I guess that's in the category of that. Oh, Watch Mojo. Watch Mojo stuff popped up. Godzilla story. Let's do that. The stuff on Godzilla origin stories explained. We can do that. That's less than 10 minutes. The origins of Godzilla. I'm trying to think here. Trying to think here. Could I just do the first one here? The 7 Godzilla origin stories explained. From 2 years ago, it has 151,000 views. Advertisement was to play. No, it's not an advertisement. What the fuck? Okay. I thought it was an advertisement just because of how the intro was. Stop. Okay. Okay, has 3.4 thousand likes. Let's pull up Bandicam. My good old Bandicam. I want to learn how to use the OBS, but I still don't fully remember how to do that, even though Kyler gave me a whole walkthrough last week of that. I don't know, he's going to have to teach me with this one because I'm not on my laptop, I'm on a whole different computer monitor, like actual PC. And because the laptop is like, it's breaking down, it's getting old, and the screen on it cracked and everything. Not like completely, but it's, you know, it's getting to that point. But yeah, let's start screen recording. 3, 2, 1. Alright. We're getting right into it here, so let's just get on a full screen and let's play. Sorry. There we go. Alright.
In this video, we will showcase to you all the times Godzilla had a different origin story. So we all know Godzilla as one of the most iconic and most durable fictional creatures to ever be created for the big screen. And with his 30 plus films, he usually comes out from the ocean and terrorizes humanity, and also the other kaiju as well. Godzilla is depicted as an enormous, destructive, prehistoric sea monster awakened and empowered by nuclear radiation. With the nuclear bombings of Hiroshima and Nagasaki and the Lucky Dragon 5 incident still fresh in the Japanese consciousness, Godzilla was conceived as a metaphor for nuclear weapons. But this isn't always the case. There are other origin stories that differ vastly from the original, and here in this video we shall explore all the 7 origin stories. Number 1. The Irradiated Sea Reptile. In the original 1954 Godzilla film, it is firstly proposed that Godzilla was a type of prehistoric intermediary reptile related to both land and sea reptiles that slept under the water for millions of years, feeding on deep-sea organisms before being disturbed and enhanced by an American hydrogen bomb test. In the movie, Dr. Yamane proposes that the original Godzilla might have been living among others of his kind prior to the detonation, but the hydrogen bomb completely destroyed his home and drew him out. He would have been a very large creature to start with, and the enhancement made him into the nearly indestructible kaiju that was only killed by a new superweapon called the Oxygen Destroyer, a weapon that reacts violently with water, isolating oxygen molecules and splitting them. This means that any organism exposed to the chemical will first suffocate from the lack of oxygen and then disintegrate, the same thing that happened to Godzilla in the movie. Number 2. The irradiated Godzillasaurus. In this next origin story, the first after a very long time, Godzilla was given a little bit of change in how he came to be. He wasn't a deep-sea reptile but a modern-day dinosaur still living in an island. So in the movie, it started in 1992 when a science fiction writer named Kenichiro Terusawa was writing a book about Godzilla and then learns of a group of Japanese soldiers that when they were stationed on Lagos Island during the Gilbert and Marshall Islands campaign during the World War II in February 1944, while threatened by the American soldiers and they were almost overrun by the US military, the Japanese soldiers were saved by a mysterious dinosaur called Godzillasaurus. He theorizes that the dinosaur was subsequently mutated into Godzilla in 1954 after a hydrogen bomb test on the island. Then, a wealthy businessman who commanded the Japanese soldiers on Lagos Island confirms that the dinosaur did indeed exist. Number 3. The irradiated iguana. In this next origin story, we go over the ocean into the United States. Also known as the American Godzilla or TriStar Godzilla, this design by Cat Luigi is that of a hunched, bent-over marine iguana but had the stance of dinosaurs, specifically the T-Rex and other large, two-legged carnivorous theropods. The TriStar Godzilla is a 60-meter tall creature that is a mutation of a sea iguana caused by nuclear radiation.
That is terrifying.
It was originally a marine iguana egg irradiated by French nuclear tests in French Polynesia. It makes its presence known years later when it attacks 3 fishing boats in the ocean. The radiation in his body led to a slow evolution into the lizard-like creature seen running loose in New York City during the events of the film. The transformation occurred over a 30-year period, and this Godzilla relies on his speed and animalistic cunning to evade attackers and ambush them rather than fight them head-on like the classic Godzillas. Number 4. World War II Spirits. In the movie Godzilla, Mothra and King Ghidorah, Giant Monsters All-Out Attack, or GMK, the Godzilla that came out stands out as a truly evil supernatural entity. Back then, Japan suffered an attack from Godzilla, and the monster laid waste to Tokyo, transforming the once proud capital of Japan into ground zero of a nuclear disaster overnight. Godzilla was killed with an experimental chemical weapon, while the weapon's inventor took his own life to ensure that this weapon could never be used again. But over the next several decades, humanity gradually began to forget about Godzilla, with many assuming that the creature never existed and was simply a legend. In the film, Godzilla was indeed killed by the Oxygen Destroyer in 1954, but his body wasn't destroyed. It became possessed by the souls of the people who died in the Pacific Ocean during World War II. In this movie, Ghidorah was actually the good guy. Can you believe it? Number 5. The Titan Superspecies. In Legendary's take on the G-Man, he was a very ancient life form, a Titan superspecies that was on the planet for hundreds of millions of years ago, but wasn't something like the earlier origin stories where an ancient life form was mutated by nuclear weapons. He was initially thought to be a threat, and now we understand his potential to become the world's ultimate guardian, a towering apex predator emerging from the mysterious depths of the ocean to battle aggressors that threaten the balance of nature. Millions of years ago, as the planet cooled down and its natural atmospheric radiation began to decrease after the Permian-Triassic extinction event, he adapted to survive various other extinction events by diving deep into the ocean and consuming the planet's natural geothermal radiation in a hibernation-like state from its molten core until 1945, when the atomic bombing of Hiroshima woke him up, along with a fearsome Shinomura, another Titan, which was also an enemy he previously fought in the past during the Permian period. Number 6. A hyper-evolving sea creature. In the new 2016 Shin Godzilla movie, The Origins of the G-Man, shifted from reptile to an unknown creature which many believe to be some sort of ancient frilled shark. Here Godzilla is not born out of the dropping of a nuclear bomb, but rather out of nuclear waste dumped in the sea. Godzilla, like most monsters if not all, is a monster that humans make directly, or maybe indirectly. We learn it was created when a marine animal consumes nuclear waste dumped by the United States in the sea. Once again, nuclear waste and victims lie at the origin story of Godzilla. These marine animals were ancient life forms that continue to exist till the present day, and this origin was similar to that of Destroyer, in which ancient sea life forms were exposed to the oxygen destroyer weapon and hence mutated them, but it was nuclear waste for Shin. He then went on to evolve 4 times and actually 8 times to become a god in the memo and earlier official plans. Number 7. Mutated plant species. This is by far the weirdest and the most deviant of all the origin stories of the G-Man. He is the largest on-screen incarnation of the character to date, standing at more than 300 meters or more than 1,000 feet tall. This incarnation of Godzilla first appeared in the year 2030, at which point mankind had already endured over a quarter of a century of repeated attacks from huge creatures called kaiju. Godzilla then established himself as the most powerful kaiju, eliminating everything else including humans. This incarnation of Godzilla is unique in that he originated from plant life rather than animal life. He is said to be the end result of natural selection on Earth. Godzilla evolved as a result of his plant life, incorporating the characteristics of various other organisms through a process of horizontal gene transfer, granting him extreme durability, heat resistance, stealthiness, regenerative abilities, and other attack powers like the atomic breath. So now that we come to the end of the video, do tell us what you think about the different origin stories. Was the irradiated Godzillasaurus actually the same animal as the deep-sea reptile of the original storyline? Also, what do you think about the origins of Shin Godzilla and whether his beginnings are really similar to that of Destroyer? And yes, what about the strange Godzilla Earth's origins? He was actually a plant and not an animal, nevertheless a reptile. Anyway, do hit that like, subscribe and bell button for regular updates.
Oh god, that was freaking, Anyway, so let's see how much I have left on the screen recording. Okay, it's about to end. But good freaking, I didn't know Godzilla could get to like one of the origin stories of Godzilla going up to fucking 1,000 feet tall. Like that's just fucking insane to me and very terrifying. Yeah, I feel like at some point we can do another like one talking about Godzilla. But anyways, yeah, and I mean, get a drink of water, got to stay hydrated, and all that good stuff, you know. Oh god, okay. I don't know what to choose from here now. Okay, it stops. Okay. I'm trying to go quick and trying to see if I can find the, so let me close out the file real quick. Reopen it back up. Trying to see here. Okay, there we go. Alright, so I was able to open that. Alright, cool. Alright, so yeah, it's freaking crazy. And it's also terrifying how the fact that like Godzilla can mutate, like possess other people into like a Godzilla form, like that's fucking crazy. Sorry guys, I'm trying to do what I can with this episode, even though it might not seem like the most entertaining episode, but I'm gonna try to truck through it. Okay, so even if I stop at like right at the 1 hour mark, I don't even know. All of like the movie stuff is like popping up, like the movie stuff. The History and Evolution of Godzilla, guys, 54 minutes? Good God. I'm trying to see if I can find a short video. The Origins of Godzilla from 10 years ago. It's a 5-minute video. The Evolution of Godzilla animated. Let's do that. 64 million views from 3 years ago. Yes, so let's try that. So we heard the stories. Now we're doing the evolution of Godzilla. So without further ado, let's do that. Start a new screen recording. 3, 2, 1. Alright. Start that. Let's get right into it. We don't need subtitles on. You can close those damn captions. Okay. We don't need subtitles. Okay.
Since being awoken by atomic bombs, Godzilla has lit up the silver screen. But his looks seem to be ever-changing, starting with the original. Let's go through his theatrical looks and story. Animated. In his first ever appearance, Godzilla has small arms, thick legs, and dorsal plates down his spine. His pupils are tiny, and he has fangs and pointy ears. After attacking Japan, he gets disintegrated to bone. A new Godzilla, appears in Godzilla Raids Again. This monster is thinner, with longer arms, a smaller head, and larger pupils. When in close-ups, his teeth appear to be jutting out. Sadly, he's buried in ice. But in King Kong vs. Godzilla, he busts free. He's now in color. He's more plump, toeless, and has a lizard-like head with yellow eyes, no ears, and no fangs. He faces off against a giant ape, tumbling into the ocean, only to be washed ashore in Mothra vs. Godzilla. Now he's slimmer, has a wider head, white eyes, and smooth, shiny brows. As his rampage continues, he gets covered in silk and again drops into the sea. But in Ghidorah, the three-headed monster, he's back. Now with a slimmer face and longer tongue. From this film on in the original series, Godzilla now defends humanity from more evil monsters. In Invasion of Astro Monster, Godzilla is thinner, his dorsal plates have more definition, his claws are dull, and his head is rounder. He shows off his new dance moves before briefly being put under alien mind control. Ibara, Horror of the Deep, gives Godzilla less angry brows. He battles against a big lobster, and narrowly escapes an exploding island. In the sequel, Godzilla's neck is elongated. He's pudgier, and his dorsal fins are flimsy looking. His nose is also stubbier, and his eyes are bugged out. Oh, and he's now raising a hideous son. In Destroy All Monsters, he's slimmer, while his face appears more like it did in Astro Monster. He's put under alien mind control again, but once free of their control, he turns on them. For the next 3 sequels, his look remains consistent. In the first, he helps his son face off against a bully. However, this all takes place inside the dreams of a young boy, so moving on. Next, in Godzilla vs. Hedorah, he opposes a pollution monster, and when curled up like a shrimp, he can now fly backwards. In Godzilla vs. Gigan, Godzilla has gained the ability to speak, while his suit, skin, starts ripping during his triumphant battle. He appears slimmer in Godzilla vs. Megalon, with a shorter neck, soft bright dorsal fins, and a round pig-nosed face. He boasts a long-distance dropkick, but this movie is mostly about a size-changing robot, so let's keep going. In the next 2 films, Godzilla has an angrier expression and more detailed muzzle. He uses a magnetic upgrade to protect an ancient god from Mechagodzilla. And in the sequel, faces him once more. But this time when Godzilla is sent to retirement, and 9 years later, a reboot Godzilla appears. This one's taller, has larger dorsal fins, a fourth toe, and his fangs and ears make a return, although his reign is short-lived as he trips into a volcano, only to explode out in the sequel. He has a smaller head, a more muscular build, larger outer fins, and a cat-like face with a secondary row of teeth. He takes on a giant plant monster, who gets turned into glitter. In Godzilla vs. King Ghidorah, his original form, the Godzillasaurus, is taken out of the 1940s and exposed to modern-day radiation, turning him into a taller, muscular, and angrier-looking Godzilla. He bites Mecha King Ghidorah and then gets dumped into the ocean. In Godzilla vs. Mothra, he's thinner, his dorsal plates are rearranged, and his neck is more ribbed. His head is flatter, and he has golden eyes. He battles against Mothra and Batra, and once again is plunged into the ocean and locked in by Mothra's magical powers. But somehow, in Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla 2, he's back. He has slimmed down shoulders and slimmer legs. He's also raising a blue-toned baby Godzilla. This time he's defeated when his butt brain is destroyed, but he's easily revitalized just moments later. Godzilla vs. Space Godzilla features the bulkier original with less detailing in the neck and larger eyes, Godzilla Jr., who is taller and chubbier with a greener color scheme, and a large flying blue crystallized Space Godzilla, who gets obliterated. In this timeline's final film, Godzilla is glowing orange, and his son now looks more like a hunched version of his father. When the original Big G has a meltdown, his son absorbs the radiation and turns into the new Godzilla ready for action. But the series would be continually rebooted, dropping him altogether. The first American Godzilla appears as a large mutated iguana with blue dorsal spines and a hanging dewlap. This Godzilla also has hundreds of tiny raptor-looking offspring. But this happy family is easily taken out by basic explosives. Back in Japan, in Godzilla 2000, he appears shorter, with green jagged skin, sharp purple spines, and a reptilian-looking face. While he's nearly swallowed whole, he's good to go for the next reboot, Godzilla vs. Megaguirus, in which he's lighter, with a longer neck, and smaller mouth. He defeats a giant flying insect and is then sent into a black hole. In Giant Monsters All-Out Attack, Godzilla is formed by the ghosts of vengeful World War II victims. He has smooth charcoal-colored skin, white dorsal fins, and a hunched neck. His face is less lizard-like, with pure white eyes and no ears. But this Godzilla is mutilated by a drill missile, leaving only his beating heart behind. The following reboot, Godzilla against Mechagodzilla, re-adds the jagged design elements and introduces a more wolf-like face. In the climax, he's blasted by a beam, adding a visible scar to his chest for the sequel, Tokyo SOS, in which he's covered in silk and again flown into the bottom of the sea. Godzilla Final Wars features a taller, smoother, and more slender Godzilla, with longer ears and red eyes. This Godzilla fights against a multitude of creatures, including an upright standing 98 Zilla. Then he and his hideous son head back to the ocean. In Shin Godzilla, he's first shown as a light-colored and armless creature, but quickly evolves, growing tiny arms and becoming more red with bloody accents. His massive main form is darker with a much longer tail that has a little face on the end. His jaw can unhinge and split apart, and he has a variety of handy new skills. He can also apparently reproduce human hybrids from his tail tip, but he's given a freezing agent, ceasing his evolution. The anime trilogy depicts a muscular, rounded Godzilla with a tree bark-like texture. 19,000 years later, he sports beard-like spikes and grows to his largest on-screen size, easily allowing him to become the ruler of Earth. Meanwhile, back in 2014, a plump American Godzilla appears. This titan has jagged dorsal plates, wide elephant-like feet, and noticeable gills. He comes out of hiding to stop two hideous star-crossed lovers. In Godzilla, King of the Monsters, he's taller and beefier. His lower half looks less stubby, his tail tip is more blunt, and his dorsal fins are less sharp and artfully glowing. Later, he's given extra radiation, and after ashes rain down on him, he gets a fiery new look and power upgrade, helping him to retain his kingly crown. Thank you for watching, liking, and subscribing. And as always, thank you to the patrons for supporting the channel. If you'd like to see more kaiju evolutions,
to be like that. I know it's gonna be animated right there, but
comment down below.
it's interesting. Okay. So yeah, so I think that was just the evolution of Godzilla just ran down. Yeah, so evolution movies, that's 20 minutes. Okay, so just recording. Okay, still got some time. So we're almost, what, already 35 minutes in. Start looking at Godzilla movies. Godzilla movies. Oh, they got a whole playlist. I think they got a whole movie too. King Kong vs. Godzilla, 1963, the original fight on MC Fuji. Godzilla vs. Kong, Tasman Sea fight scene. New Godzilla movie announced. Alright. Godzilla 2014, Godzilla the Golden Gate Bridge scene. 2014. It's something new, right? I haven't seen any of like the Godzilla movies or anything, so it's definitely really new to me. So yeah. I don't know what to choose. Alright, that's gonna end soon. Alright, there it goes. New. Yeah, so I'm thinking, hold on. Hold on. Okay, so I'm trying to think here. Could do King Kong vs. Godzilla, that 1963 original fight. Godzilla vs. Kong. Could do that. Yeah, I'm just kind of running down the whole thing here. But let's do the King Kong vs. Godzilla 1963. I just want to see how it looks, because I know CGI and shit, you know, is a new thing back then. So I'm just kind of curious what it's going to look like. Because it's not 1963, this was what? Nearly 60 years ago? So, yeah. So yeah, let's get right into it. It's going to be one of those episodes that I usually just fill with screen recordings, because I am not sure what the hell to talk about. So, let's get right into it. Starting screen recording, 3, 2, 1. Alright, let's get right into it. Alright. Universal. Oh, God. God damn. Oh, perfect timing. There goes the freaking screen recording. Okay, so let's see. We got about that amount of time left. Let's see here. What else can we look at here? Godzilla vs. Kong, Tasman Sea fight scene. We could do that. And that's only 4 minutes. We could do like a couple of these here. We could do that one. We could do Godzilla vs. Gigan Rex. Godzilla at the Golden Gate Bridge. Godzilla 2014. So we can do a few if we do like the smaller clips. So actually we might do that. Do these smaller clips. So yeah, we got about what three screen recordings. Usually have like 3 or 4 screen recordings. And I do an episode like this because I don't freaking know what I'm doing, and you know, and also I want to address that I have the Outlast 2 Thanksgiving stream coming up in 12 days. I still need to do that. Fuck. And then I gotta do it for Christmas too in December. And then I'll be in Colorado for a little bit and have to fly back, and then it's back to the good old fucking shit. Okay, I don't fucking know. I'm tired. I don't want to, sound pissy in front of you guys or anything. But let's just get right into all of this. So play one last screen recording. 3, 2, 1. Alright. That's just calm. I think this is a bit more realistic CGI. Yep. It's fucking terrifying. I wouldn't want to be in that situation at all. Godzilla's almost like a shark. I can't remember what year this was. I think this was 2017. So I think this is a remake off of the original, just to make it look more realistic. Oh shit. They're fighting underwater. That's the end of that one. Damn, that was intense. I'm kind of curious about seeing the full movies now. Alright, let's see. Next one we want to do real quick. I feel like Godzilla from 2014 is a very iconic one, just because it's what I hear about more. But Godzilla at the Golden Gate Bridge scene, so let's do that. Fucking hell. Got me. Fuck that, honestly. I would not want to be there. That's just the tail. Poor Godzilla, I was trying to get by. Because that's like a thing, like Godzilla ain't all bad, he's so big and intimidating that everyone just feel like they gotta kill freaking Godzilla. Oh well. Okay, let's see how much time we have left. We can do another short one possibly. See if I can find one. That's the trailer though. Original movie trailer. That was a comic 2021. Here we go. Let's do this one. I might have to fast forward it a little bit. Fast forward it. Next 30 seconds.
Let's make a Godzilla.
Release number 10.
that scene right there. Oh man, it's nice. One last intense scene for y'all. And there goes screen recording. Perfect. And that's the other thing that's going to wrap it up there. We just hit an hour. And so let me know if there's anything more things that Godzilla wants to do. Maybe we can add Kong to the podcast list maybe for a future episode, and just get more of a lore on Kong too, and or any other like fictional like evil like gigantic monsters or whatever. I don't know, or like the MonsterVerse. I don't even know, but I really hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. Please subscribe to the podcast if you haven't already. Hit the link in the description. Subscribe to my main channel. Subscribe to Braylen's channel. Give him the 500 subscribers. He's already getting close to that. Fucking, he's wilding with that. And then follow Tyler on TikTok. I'll put that in the link in the description as well. Just because I think I made him a new member too, because he's been, I think he's a good fit for the podcast too. And so. We're going to be sure to like, comment, subscribe, stay tuned for me for a lot of future stuff about Last 2 Thanksgiving stream. Part 1 on November 24th for Thanksgiving, and then Part 2 is going to be on December 25th for Christmas. Stay tuned for that. That's a big project of mine. So yeah, so we're going to be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And yeah, and hopefully I'll be with Braylen or Kyler or both of them next week. So yeah, you just got to figure out when we do the whole laptop thing. So I can't take a whole PC with me. So. Hopefully you enjoyed. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And as always, we'll see you guys next week. Deuces.
Trapping.